Welcome back, and today we're talking about Moriarty the Patriot, episode 3. So like always, let's just jump into it. This episode of Moriarty the Patriot showed us how Albert, Louise, and William came to be the family that they are today, a true family with the same goal of bringing the hierarchy that is controlling London right now, the hierarchy of the nobles, that they just control everything. They think they're above the law and think of commoners as pests, as not even human, right? As we see the actual legitimate son, William, how he treats Louise and stuff like that. I mean, this episode, you can say it was justice, you can say it was murder, you can say it was justified, you can say it was wrong. Honestly, let's be real. What happened in this episode was definitely wrong, right? Because they took justice into their own hands to kind of bring their plan about. It was definitely on the wrong side of the law, but can you really blame them, right? And this is why I like this anime, because we're seeing the perspective of a villain, even though his goals might be for the greater good. The way that Moriarty, William Moriarty, the way he's going about doing it, along with Louise and Albert, is definitely the wrong way to do so, definitely on the wrong side of the law. And we see this episode that the main family head, the Moriarty, the father of Albert and William, he's talking about how he adopted 2 kids, kind of showing off. And what's kind of funny to me is that while he's talking about how he's so great because, he adopted the 2 orphans, giving them a better life, and how all the nobles should do this, right? It feels like it's a trend, right? Like he's saying this to impress another lady. We see his wife is mad because she doesn't want anything to do with the dirty orphans. I mean, that's just messed up. And it's just, they're doing all of this to have a status where nobody cares, because we see that people that are like in the background and stuff like that, they're not happy that Moriarty, adopted 2 orphans, right? They're mad because Moriarty adopted 2 orphans and they're getting status because of it, right? So now what they're going to do is go and maybe, adopt an orphan or 2 just so they can have that status as well. So they're not doing it because it's the right thing to do, because they have the money to do so and take care of all these kids. They're doing it because it's a trend, and it's like what every noble needs to do in order to keep their status as good and keep their image as good as it can be. So they're adopting orphans for the wrong reasons, and we see just how they get treated, right? As soon as Louise and William made it into the Moriarty residence, we see Simon, the way he treats both of them, saying, "No, you can't even come in to the front door. Make sure you get to the back." And we see that Albert is literally the only person that's stopping all this abuse, because once Albert was out of the picture, what William, the legitimate son of the Moriarty, the youngest son, what he did to Louise was brutal, treating him like a servant, even though they're supposed to be, brothers, treating him like a servant, making him make his tea and then spilling it on the ground and telling him to clean it up with his tongue. Are you serious? That's just messed up. And luckily, William, the orphan William came in, William Moriarty, the one that I love, the top G in this anime. He came in and he offered to do it. Heck, he even stabbed his own hand with the fork to kind of please the William, the bad William, right? We're going to refer to him as the bad William. And William, of course, the bad William, did not like this at all because he was not in control of the situation. And we see when they were eating dinner, right? And this is the part that I like, because we just see how Albert is kind of like, his resentment for his family is growing every time, because his family are crazy. They actually believe that, the orphans and all the commoners and all those people are like so below them that it's not even like, they're not even a human being. They're just trash. So we see that when they're talking about William and Louise, how, William, the bad William, can concentrate because, they have the orphans in the same roof as him and they smell bad and all these excuses that have nothing to do with school, right? It's just William, the bad William, being an a-hole, right? And we see just how pissed off and the resentment, the anger, the darkness that Albert is kind of fighting in his head, to the point where he turned to William, the good William, to kind of get rid of his family because he had his last straw, right? He believes in the message that William is saying, right? That once you cast out all the demons, the curse will lift. The demons, of course, being the nobles. And I have to say, my favorite thing about this anime, absolutely, it happened on episode 1, it happened on episode 3, is when the red moon comes out, right? The world gets red, that blood color red, and it starts playing that badass music. I absolutely loved it. That's when we knew it was going down. When we see that bad William came into good William's and Louis' room to plant, you know, silverware, to kind of blame them for stealing that stuff so they would get thrown out of the house. I swear I hate bad William. I'm glad he got what he got. And as it turns out, good William saw this coming, and Albert did the killing blow. Albert was the one that came in, his own brother. That's how much resentment, anger, and how in what a bad place Albert was in, that he felt the need that he needed to help kill his whole family, right? In order to make William Moriarty the good William Moriarty's goal come true, where they're going to get rid of all the bad demons and lift the curse that all the commoners and everybody is living through, right? So it was a really awesome moment. The music, absolutely amazing. Seeing Albert in pain, bleeding out, and William explaining to the bad William, like, they're not gonna take that steak out because then he's gonna bleed out, and if the coroner comes in and does like an autopsy, they're gonna figure out exactly what happened. So it was a big no-no, and dude, that dude was in pain, and I loved it. Now the next part of the plan, of course, was to set the house on fire by opening all the valves to release gas and a huge explosion. That, of course, killed, you know, Albert's mother and father, which is good because they were definitely also messed up in the head for their way of thinking. And again, the music playing in the background, it just made the whole scene a lot more powerful. And now, of course, we see Louis burn his face to kind of make the story more believable, right? Because let's be real, if in a huge explosion like that, and then you have, you know, the bad William, and then the mother and the father, the only casualties, and, you know, William, Louis, and Albert are not even harmed whatsoever, it would raise some red flags. So, you know, Louis kind of burned his face for the greater good. And I like the little pact, the little bond that all three of them kind of accepted, right? Where they're going to be a family now. They're going to protect each other. They're all accomplices, and they're going to work together to, you know, cast out all the demons. Absolutely great episode. And this is why I love Moriarty, because it's not about the action, it's not about any of that. It's about the psychological state of Moriarty and how he's going to bring, you know, the world of crime, how he's going to be the consultant, the prince of crime. So yeah, absolutely great. And again, I have to remind everybody, we haven't even seen Sherlock Holmes showed up. So once he does, it's going to be absolutely great, because again, I have seen some of the Sherlock Holmes TV shows. I haven't read any of the books, but from the TV shows, we know that Sherlock Holmes is a beast. He's I wouldn't say as smart, but maybe at the same level as Moriarty, right? I'm not too invested in the lore of how each of these characters and how smart they are compared to each other, right? But the fact that they can go toe to toe, I would say they at the very least are close to each other when it comes to how smart they are. And yeah, I cannot wait to see Sherlock Holmes. Hopefully we get him in episode 4 and we get the first showdown between Moriarty and Sherlock, because that's going to be amazing in this anime. And overall, I mean, I just love this anime. I love this anime, and I really hope the people that are watching are also loving it, because I would love to get more of it. I don't know exactly if this season is going to adopt the whole story of the manga. We might need a season 2, and if we do need a season 2, I want to make sure the ratings, the viewership is there, because I really would love to see this story end. But yeah, like always, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below, and like always, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.